Recording. So, welcome to our sales coaching series. This is officially week 2, and we're digging a little deeper to help the representatives who are top sellers in the Southeast to maximize their e-store, web office, and online selling opportunities. My name is Crystal Paget, and I am one of 4 sales development coaches in the Southeast region. I believe at least one, maybe another couple of my counterparts are also on the line. So Gina, I know I heard your voice earlier. Thank you. I know that you're out there. Do you want to say hello?
Hello, everyone. So excited for this call tonight. It's going to be fabulous.
Yes, and I know Kelly Coleman, another sales development coach in the Southeast region, shared with me earlier that she has lost her voice, but I do believe she's going to participate and help support us in the chat box. And then I'm not sure if Vanessa Moore may or may not be on the line, our 4th and not final sales development coach. We saved the best for last. Vanessa has been on vacation, so I'm not sure if she was able to join us. Vanessa, are you out there? All right, so I'm just going to move straight through. Thank you again for taking the time to join us. Again, this is intended to be a high-level overview of the tools that are available to you. And of course, we're going to stop for questions. Gina, again, will be monitoring the chat box, but we'd love for you to engage with us there. As far as engaging in the chat box, if you would, tell us where you're from. We'd really love to know that so that we can get a grasp for who we are supporting tonight, and excited for you to play along with us. So this again is week 2, officially in the last of September almost. Hard to believe that it's officially fall. And tonight's focus is your wonderful web office. So tonight marks the halfway point when we finish up through our 4-week coaching series. Week 3 we'll be covering activating online sales through your e-store, and week 4 pulling it all back together with social selling so that you can leverage it to be most effective for your business. So let's take a quick look at tools for online selling success. And again, tonight's focus is primarily on web office and digging a little bit deeper into each of these tools. So part of the beauty of web office, of course, is as an independent sales representative, you are the boss and you have the ability to manage your business on the go. And web office is a wonderful tool that allows you to do just that, and then also maintain a professional appearance to your customers. So web office, of course, very simply, your AVON.com, that tab across the top, that says web office. I think most of you have probably been there before to access it. But there are other tabs, if you will, subtitles underneath that top line. And the first is customer management. So with customer management, of course, you can add and update, edit customer information. And each of these tabs that we're going to glance through tonight, if you hover over them on your avon.com, it gives you a drop down below that gives you multiple options for how to view those tools. And one of the beautiful things about this piece is, for me personally, I'm very much a visual learner, so I do better by playing around. So this is a little bit more of a tutorial, kind of walking you through a few different pieces. But again, it is just a top line, so you'll want to refer back to your sales development coach if you could benefit from additional training and support and coaching in any of these topics. So customer management, of course, the address book next, and of course that's how you can update all of your customer information. Your email and calendar, so the AVON forwardable emails, all those sorts of things you can manage here. Your customer invoicing tool is one of my most favorite things, and we're going to dig much deeper into that customer invoicing tool a little bit later in our presentation this evening. And of course, your e-store, so how to manage your e-store, how to personalize your e-store, and then the marketing tools that you have available from AVON, so for example, Social Media Center and the like. And then resources, things that can help you to be even more efficient in managing your AVON business and help you get to things more quickly. Another thing that you're going to learn as we kind of click through our training this evening is that most of the things that you can access, or actually all of the things that you can access in the tabs that we just went through, are also things that you can click on any one of these pink boxes and access. So there's more than one way to access and utilize your tools. And this is particularly helpful if you are using WebOffice from a mobile device, because it displays differently than it does on a desktop. So on a mobile device, you see the pink icons and not necessarily those white tabs that we just clicked through. But again, you can accomplish the same tasks just by using those pink icons instead. So our next piece just asks the question, are you using all the tools that AVON offers you? There are so many, and even more than I personally realized. And so this can give our representatives, each and every one of you on the line, already top sellers, it can give you even more of a competitive advantage and help you to grow and build your business by working smarter and not harder. So tonight's focus around WebOffice is more about the tools that you can use not only to grow your business, but also more to manage your business. So activating your AVON eStore is super simple. It's as easy as going to the WebOffice tab. And then now under the Resources tab, there is a quick setup for online. So very, very simple. If you follow along the arrows there, it kind of walks you through exactly where to click and to move forward. And then your eStore is ready. So you're open for business. We always say, if you don't pass out brochures, that means your store is closed for business. But if you have an AVON eStore, it's open 24/7 so that you can sell to and service customers and make money even while you sleep. So setting up your eStore, it is as simple as these 4 steps. So we can expound on each of them and you can get as technical as you please. But again, a high-level overview tonight that you'll be able to take and start playing around yourself, experimenting, and hopefully setting up some time with your sales development coach for some additional support and training and coaching through those processes. So through WebOffice, you really do have the opportunity to maximize your eStore to its fullest and make the best and smartest use of your time. And that starts with building your address book. So in building your address book, that may be one of the most labor-intensive things that you have to do in your eStore, but it is absolutely the most rewarding in my opinion. And so that's implementing and inputting, all of your customers' contact information so that you have it there for future reference. Of course, it's only for you, and it's a great way to keep everyone together. And then you also, the second point, have the opportunity to customize your website, and that's incredibly important. We'll dig a little bit deeper into that later. You have some great personalization tools, and then the fourth and final step is sending an email, reaching out to friends, family. It might not just be an email, it could be a text message, it could be a post on social media with the link to your eStore, just letting everyone know that you are open for business or asking them to check out your store and let you know what they think about it. So entering your customer list, keeping it current, again, one of the most important things that you can do in your business. And entering those customers into your address book on an ongoing basis, any new customers that you may meet as you're out and about in your daily life or that you may be able to reach via social media is very important. And for multiple reasons. So, of course, you have the opportunity to offer your customers, and we'll talk more about this in a bit, to receive exclusive promotions from AVON, only available through your eStore. And then the other piece that I think is so incredibly important, we know that you receive earnings when you have customers who shop through your eStore. And I was so excited when earlier this year in Campaign 9, our company changed it so that representatives earn the same no matter how they sell. So even if you have a customer who is shopping online and is choosing direct delivery, they have the opportunity to shop online, have AVON deliver it to them, and you still make full commission. So if you are a President's Club representative or above, then you have the opportunity, of course, to get full commission, so 40%, even if Avon delivers those products to your customers for you. So that is a wonderful thing. I see in the chat box that you may have trouble with your view. Please know in your control panel on the right hand side, that arrow at the top, it looks like a little red box with a white arrow. You can click that and hide the control panel, so it will kind of go away off to the side, and you can just access it then if you need to. So,
Crystal.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. This is Gina. Also, the clock. What you guys can do is you can put your cursor on it and drag that clock out of your way. If you can't see, I just got a message that it's blocking some of their views.
Yes.
So you can. I just looked at it and I just clicked on it and just dragged it and moved it out of my way.
Okay, awesome. And I chose to stop that clock and I closed it out. Another thing that you can do, if you see to the left that plus and minus beside where it says materials or beside where it says chat, on the opposite side you have a little X, and it gives you the option to close that pane. So if you didn't want to use the chat box, for example, you could close that pane for yourself, and that would of course make it go away and clean up your screen so that you can see the full presentation. Thank you so much, Gina, for fielding that for me. Much appreciated. So let me get back into our presentation here. So next, the customer management piece. And if you notice to the left of the screen, that hot pink arrow, that kind of gives you an example of what it looks like when you hover over any of those tabs. So under customer management, you have the opportunity to view any customer order activity, also your customer order history, and customer follow-up. One of the most incredibly beautiful things about the customer management tool, once you've entered your customers in your address book and you're submitting your orders by customer, it saves their sales history for you. So if you were using the receipt book and handwriting customer tickets, this saves everything for you electronically. All those customer history purchases, I believe, are stored for a year. So let's say your customer, Susie Q, has been ordering her favorite lipstick from you. You can't remember what color it was or what shade it was that she preferred, and she can no longer read the sticker on the bottom of that tube. I don't know if that's ever happened to any of you guys, but I've been there before myself as a former representative. So having the ability to go in that customer's order history and see what the last shade of lipstick was that she purchased is an incredible thing. I don't know about you, but if I don't write things down, I forget them. And just having one less thing to try to keep track of manually, I think can go a long way. So the next piece, of course, in making your Avon eStore your own is as simple as clicking on Edit My Online Store. Also, you could access this by clicking on the eStore tab and choose to edit it there. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, you can access things in a couple of different ways. So again, as simple as clicking Edit My Online Store. And when we talk about editing your online store, one of the things that is incredible. Oh, someone's commented and said that your customer's purchase history, if you've done their invoicing online, it's available for years. So that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. But with your personalized eStore, it makes all the difference. It is a statistically proven fact that if representatives put a picture of themselves, even if you hate to have your picture taken, on your eStore, people are much more likely to shop with you because people want to shop with someone that they can relate to and identify with. And you are much more relatable than any little emoticon, emoji, or picture of your cat. So keep that in mind. Adding your name and your picture is very important. There was an experience a representative shared with me several years ago, and she had a young woman contact her who had just moved to the area where she lived, and that young woman said, I was searching online for an Avon representative, and you were the only one I could find in my area that had a picture up. So that young woman became a great customer. So that was definitely a testament to what we already knew to be statistically true. So you have the opportunity, of course, to customize your homepage. So you can choose, how your homepage is laid out. You can also, of course, add all of your social media connections so your customers can connect with you on Facebook or Twitter, any other kind of social media that you're engaged in. And then you also have the opportunity, of course, to tell a little bit about yourself. So to tell your Avon story, and your own Avon story is so much more powerful than you may think. And that may compel people to want to do business with you. So keep that in mind. The next piece, the personalization tool, allows you to really choose what information you want to display to your customers. So you have the opportunity here to personalize your settings and to edit your contact information, as well as, again, decide which contact information is displayed to your customers when they view and shop your e-store. And you can also personalize it so that you choose what of your information is displayed to your customers when you do their invoicing, which is really wonderful. And then you also have the opportunity here to add your personal touch. So under those pink icons, if you scroll down on the home page, if you're accessing your web office on a desktop or laptop computer, it's under marketing tools, and from there simply click on the personalization tool. So it's very, very easy to access. So I'm going to take just a moment. It looks like the chat box may be lighting up. Do we have any questions or anyone who would like to share a personal experience for any of the things that we've just kind of gone through? Remember, again, to mute or unmute yourself. It's as simple as clicking on the attendees box, and then you have the opportunity to self-mute or to unmute your line. All right. So again, if you have a question, feel free, type it in the chat box. Gina's doing a great job. Thank you, Gina, for staying on top of that for us. And if there are no questions right now, then I will continue to move to the next slide. So when I do that, for whatever reason, it toggles and skips around for me. But we definitely want you also to take advantage of Avon's automated campaign promotions. Gina made a wonderful point last week in week 1 of our training series or coaching series, and she encouraged everyone last week to enroll as a customer themselves in their own e-store, just so that you can be aware of all the messages that your customers are receiving, because it's so important when your customers receive an automated email, even though it's done by Avon, they do the work for you. So talk about working smarter and not harder, right? But it looks as if it came from you. And if your customers click a link in that, it will redirect them to your e-store. So it's very, very important that you add yourself in your customer base, in your customer list, in your address book, so that you can receive those automated campaign promotions as well. You don't want your customer contacting you, again, to Gina's point, asking you about a special that you emailed her, and then you not be aware of what that was. So, of course, you can also start now by sending a professionally designed grand opening forwardable email to all of your newly registered customers from your web office, from your email service center. So that's very, very simple and a really wonderful tool that you will not regret using. Incredibly helpful.
Crystal,
Yes.
I just wanted to read a comment that Gail just posted, and I think it's really great. She posted marketing personalization tools lets you type a thank you message with dates of the next campaign or a big thank you. I think that's so smart. And Gail, thank you for sharing that.
Yes, absolutely. That is incredibly smart. I love so much that these tools allow you to really personalize, because good customer service goes a long way. And as an independent business owner, as an Avon representative, that's what keeps people coming back to you when you provide excellent service. So yes, thank you for sharing that, Gail. That's wonderful. The next piece here, of course, just digs a little deeper again to that point, those customizable emails. And of course, you can manage those also by clicking on, the email calendar tab that we took a look at earlier. But it can definitely help you to keep that conversation going with your customers. So whether that be via email or an e-card, AVON has some really great professional pieces that you can take and use and make your own. And it's a great opportunity for you to promote a specific product. Maybe there's something that is your pick of the campaign that you want to highlight to those customers or to someone that you think might be interested. Of course, the follow-up tool is really incredible. What did you think about the latest sample of skincare I gave you? It's on sale this campaign if you'd like to try the full size. And also a great tool for you to use as you're taking orders. So this can be a difference maker for you between being just an order taker or an active seller. So that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Did we have a question? Or someone with a comment? All right, so I'm going to move to the next piece. We've got a little bit of background noise. Of course, using customer invoicing can absolutely help you to simplify how you manage your business. And I know there are a lot of representatives who already use the customer invoicing tool, and there are a lot of representatives who are really comfortable and happy and enjoy using their customer receipt book. And if that is the case, by all means, this is about you, so you do what's best for you and for your business. But using the invoicing tool, I know so many representatives who through the years have shared with me when they invested the time to really learn how to use their e-store and use the customer invoicing tool, they say they would never, ever, ever go back and do it another way. I know for myself, when I was a representative, I used to spend so much time filling out those receipt books. And sometimes if I thought I was going to be proactive and calculate my customers' totals in advance of receiving my order, then you know how that goes. If something's missing, you have to go back and recalculate everything. So I actually created more work for myself in doing that. So the invoicing tool can save you time, and it truly is simple. Of course, it starts by entering your customers in the address book, as we mentioned earlier. And then you're able to submit your orders by customer.
Muted. Unmuted.
Okay. I was muted for a moment. Sorry about that. But submitting your orders by customer is what allows you to save those invoices, view your customer order history in the future so that you can always go back and reference that. And then the second piece, of course, is just opening up the customer invoicing tool. Third, of course, you can make any necessary adjustments to your customer's invoice. And then you can save and print invoices very simply and very, very professionally from the web office there. So just to take a quick look and kind of show you what this looks like, bear with me because this is actually from my account. And of course, as a sales development coach, I don't sell to and service customers as you guys do, but I do place my own personal orders on your avon.com. And so this is actually a snapshot from my own personal campaign 19 and 20. And you can see in campaign 19, I may or may not have gotten a little carried away with Avon fashion. That's one of those hide the boxes from your husband. Just kidding, not really. I did order quite a bit, but here, of course, it's as simple as clicking on the customer invoicing tool, and that's what pulls up this screen down below. And then the next piece that makes this wonderful, so if you, of course, we're doing this for individual customers, it's going to ask you for each individual customer if they have items missing from their order. And so if they do not have items missing from their order, of course, then everything that they ordered from you that you submitted in your avon.com under their name will be listed on that invoice. And if not, if they did have shortages in their order or they had items that were missing, then that will store it into their back order file and take it out of their order total for that particular campaign. So this is a quick glance at the invoice worksheet. So I said no, nothing was missing from my campaign 19 order. And then it shows, of course, customer prices here on this worksheet. And keep in mind, it's considered a worksheet because all of the white fields on this sheet are editable. So if you see in the upper right-hand corner, it says, of course, that 75-cent service charge and the tax rate. This is something that you can save in the personalization tool, so it pre-populates on every invoice for you moving forward. So whatever your tax rate would be when you're calculating it for customers based off of where you live, you can go in. That's, again, the personalization tool. There's a pink tab, and it says customer invoicing, and then it allows you, you'll see where it says service charge and tax, so you can save that information there for the future moving forward. The other piece here that's really wonderful, I know a lot of representatives who use the eStore and the customer invoicing tool. They also offer their customers occasionally special discounts, or with the special discounts, maybe they're giving them a percentage off on one particular item, or maybe it's for the total order. So in the adjustment percentages column, you have the option there to decide, of course, if you're going to offer that to anyone, and then have it correctly printed when you do their actual invoice. The other thing here is if you had a customer who ordered an item and that item was missing and you forgot to say that there were shortages in their order, you can go here and delete that item or say that it was missing from their order. Maybe you entered something in under the wrong customer. You have the option to do that. And then also even, add additional fields, etc. And then when you look to the bottom or scroll to the bottom of that customer invoicing, of course, it shows anything that they may have had on back order. So AVON is automatically tracking that for you. And then you have the opportunity to enter a personalized message. So happy Thanksgiving, whatever the case may be, you can absolutely make it personal, tell your customers how much you appreciate them, or maybe that you're working to achieve the next sales level. Maybe it's, President's Club again, or maybe you're working to get to Honor Society and you're asking for some support. Whatever the case may be, that's a wonderful thing to use. So
Crystal,
the personalization tool is fabulous. Yes.
Crystal.
Yes.
Hey, it's Gina. Just wanted to jump in really quick, and if Gail wouldn't mind, she has a lot of great tips, and there are a lot of people who can't see your messages, Gail, because they're on the phone line. So I was hoping that you would just share some of the things that you've been putting into the chat box.
I see Gail saying that she doesn't have a mic right now, Gina. So if you don't mind, if you want to read Gail's comments, that'd be great.
And read some of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's see. All right. One of the ones she just posted, each campaign, add your customers and then use it for their orders. Then you can search who uses products that might be coming on a great sale. Then you have the most active customers at your fingertips. I think that's a great tip. Thank you, Gail. And then she also posted, she was asking about let's see, you can put your earnings percentage on each item and then have a sheet of your actual cost. So she was sharing that tip when you were talking about the earnings.
Yes, awesome.
And I think she was commenting in the box from the, she's saying that she has no mic. But I just love when we all participate and share, because to Crystal's point, she and I, don't sell. So some of these things, some of these great tools and tips you guys are sharing supports each other, and it trains Crystal and I a little bit.
Absolutely.
Some of the things that we weren't aware of. So that's some great tips.
Absolutely. This is a learning opportunity for each of us. Thank you, Gina, for sharing that. Absolutely. So we talked about the personalized message, and from this point, you can do a lot of different things. So as you see on my screen here, you see where you have the opportunity to preview what your invoice would look like for that customer. So if you're not satisfied or you want to go back and change something, you can absolutely do that. Let's just say that you got in there and you were playing around for the first time and you felt like you'd really messed things up. Well, guess what? It's no big deal. You have the opportunity to click reset and change it back to the original invoice, and you can start fresh. And also, of course, you have the opportunity to click update. So if you did choose that something was missing or that you wanted to delete it and you needed to update that on the invoice, you can absolutely do that. So just know, if this is your first time to play around with this, of course, we are here to help you and support you. But many of you may be like me and be visual learners who want to kind of get in there and play with it themselves, and get some practice in. But one thing I can promise you is the more that you do this, the easier it will become, for sure. So also here from the worksheet, you have the opportunity to save their invoice. So that saves it in their history for future view. And you also have the opportunity, of course, to print their invoice. And again, a printed invoice looks incredibly professional. And again, you had the opportunity to personalize it as well. And it only has the contact information on it that you want to display to those customers as you're delivering. So this would be an example. This is my preview of the order that I placed with campaign 19. So again, thank goodness I'm not paying customer price, or I would be in trouble, right? But so of course it would show, if I were servicing customers, that would be my eStore address, my phone number, my physical address. Again, it's up to you. If you don't want to have your physical street address on there, it might just be the town that you're from, something to that effect. But it lists items, of course, quantity, product, a description, and then if it was a special, or if you gave them a discount, that would be reflected here. And then, of course, a service charge. And again, this is because I submitted my own order under my name so that I'd have the opportunity to play with it. So that's why it shows me as a customer, that 75-cent fee. And then I didn't go in and enter my sales tax, but actually where I live, it's only 5%. So you can change all of those things in your personalization tool. So you have the ability, as I mentioned, to save those invoices, to print those invoices. You could save them and email them to your customers. Or if you're managing your business from a mobile device, you can take a screenshot of that invoice and even text it to your customer. So that could save you ink. So it's all about you. It's all about what's best for your business, what works with your customers. And so I want to encourage you to use the format that works best for you. And before we close up shop tonight, I just want to remind you of a couple next steps and ask you first, try this out. If you're not already doing it, play with it. Now, if you are already doing it and having a lot of success, even if you don't feel that you might need some one-on-one coaching time with your sales development coach, I would encourage you to please reach out to us anyway, because I'm sure that we could learn from you, so you can help us to better serve other representatives. And then if you are a representative in any of our respective areas and you'd like some more one-on-one in-depth coaching around your web office or any of the other topics that we'll be covering in this 4-week series, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Of course, each of us have our own respective Facebook groups. We also have, of course, text messaging capability on our phones, and you're more than welcome to call us or email us as well. We'd love to hear from you and get you on our calendar so that we can better support you. Of course, don't forget to tune in next week, same time, next week on Tuesday. We'll be talking about social selling, of course, and digging still deeper into these online tools. And so before I move to the next slide, do we have any other questions or comments from you guys? You truly are the experts. I'd like to say thank you again, Gail, for your engagement and your sharing. It really means a lot to us, and it's very helpful, not just for Gina and I, but I'm sure for the other representatives who have joined us, and then also for the other representatives that will be able to listen to this webinar via playback. Gina, do you have anything that you'd like to add?
No, you did a great job, Crystal. I just want to share, exactly what Crystal said. Please reach out to your sales coach and let us know that you want more information, because there's nothing better than having that one-on-one time where we can, create your training based on what part of it that you really want to dig in deeper. And as Crystal said, this is a top line overview, digging into some of the information and tools that you have, but we can go into each one and really work with you to make sure you understand and are utilizing it to your best abilities.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you so much for supporting me tonight, Gina, as we support our representatives. Thank you guys all for taking time out of your very busy lives to join us. I hope this was of benefit to you. And again, please do reach out to us. And a final thought to end our evening together, a quote from Henry Ford that I absolutely love. Attitude is so important in life. And Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. So sometimes it's as simple as changing our thinking, and it can open up a whole new world for us and what we can accomplish, what we can do with our business, and grow ourselves personally moving forward. So thank you again. Have a great evening, and I hope to see you all back here next week.